today we're once again re-engaging the public to support us and support farmers in supporting our proposals to provide tax credits to dairy farmers and other farmers throughout our state. These tax credit programs have worked in other states such as Massachusetts and has made the farming communities even more vibrant there, and has sustained these critical resources for their state. And for these hardworking, working-class individuals. And so we're once again re-engaging that effort and calling on the governor, as well as the Democrats in the legislature, to have a discussion with us to implement these measures, which will go such a long way towards providing that critical support. In addition to that, we're also asking that if the governor does not feel that we have the money in our budget to appropriate towards this, we'd like to see him use his fund. We have an issue with the way the fund was established. It should have been in the hands of the legislature, and we could be appropriating these funds to help offset these costs for farmers, particularly dairy farmers. But if the governor has his hands on this money, instead of funneling bureaucracy on giving it to different organizations, third-party organizations that are being investigated by grand juries, instead of doing that, we believe the money should be appropriated from this fund and given to our farmers throughout the state. So we're calling on the Democrats and the governor in the legislature, again, to do two things: either implement this tax credit program that we've been proposing and working on for a few months now that we're in session for our farmers, or if you're not going to do that, then use funds in the governor's fund to appropriate to these farmers to help save them. They need the help now. They deserve the help. With that said, I'm going to turn it to Senator Summers, our ranking member on the Appropriations Committee, and somebody who's a huge champion for agriculture through our state. Thanks.
Good morning, everyone. I want to be as plain, or speak as plainly as possible here, that Connecticut's pricing its residents out of the state, and we are pricing farmers out of existence. Dairy farms producing food-producing farms across the state, Connecticut is failing them. We are failing them in a very large way. Costs are skyrocketing, energy, labor, some of the highest in the country. And at the same time, prices for what is produced on the farms are unstable or dropping. And what do? We pile taxes on top of this for them. We must make Connecticut more affordable for everyone, and that includes our farmers. We are taxing the people who feed us out of business, and the consequences are already here. There's fewer dairy farms. I represent a town where there used to be 30 dairy farms. There's one left. Fewer farms, less local food. Once those farms are gone, they're gone for good. You cannot rebuild the farm. Other states get it. Massachusetts, our neighbors get it. They offer tax credits, incentives, and real support. In Connecticut, we're offering higher costs and more pressure. And then we're surprised when farms disappear. This is about survival, people. It's not about subsidies, it's not about handouts. This is about survival of agriculture in the state of Connecticut. If we do not provide the targeted tax incentives that you've heard my good leaders speak about, or some kind of subsidy through the governor's slush fund that he has to be able to hand out for dairy farms and food-producing farms, we're going to lose them. And what happens when we lose local food? We lose open space, we lose jobs, and we become dependent on a food system that is from outside Connecticut at higher prices. This state is already struggling with affordability, and this type of behavior not addressing this is reckless. So here's the choice. Do we want to grow food in Connecticut or import it? Because right now we're making it impossible for farmers to remain here in the state. It's time to stop talking about supporting farmers and actually do it. Tax relief, real relief, some kind of subsidy from the governor's fund that he has an ability to spend. Because if we don't, Connecticut grown will no longer be grown here in Connecticut. Let's do this right. We're calling on the Democrats and the governor to make the right decision and to really support the farmers that are left here in Connecticut before there are none to talk about. Thank you. I'm going to turn it over now to Senator Gordon.
Good morning. I'm proud to be here with my Senate Republican colleagues. We have been leaders in supporting farmers and supporting dairy farmers. I live in Woodstock, a big dairy community. I go to many farms throughout my district up in Northeast Connecticut. Farming is not easy. You have to really want to do it. And you don't make much money on it. Many years you actually lose money. And here in Connecticut, where we have a huge affordability crisis, farmers, including dairy farmers, are continuing to get squeezed. And we can't keep losing the dairy farms. We'll lose huge amounts of economic impact in Connecticut, a lot of local jobs, and we'll lose local food, which we cannot get otherwise. Once it's gone, you can't get it back. Dairy farmers, I give a lot of credit, are advocating once again that they need help before they literally go out of business and have to sell their livestock, their cows. And there's two ways we can do this. One is the short term. We can afford in Connecticut's budget, or through the governor's fund, $20 million to help them in the short term. They need it now. Literally, farms will close. And in the long term, we can help them through a tax credit sustainability program. I've researched a lot what happens in Massachusetts. They have a good program. It works. We can do that here, so in the future, we have the dairy farms that the state government says they want to have and they want to support. This is the moment now that we need the Democrats and the governor to work with us, follow our lead to help dairy farmers, because if we don't do it now, we're not going to get a second chance if we wait to next year. And as you see, our Republican colleagues here and myself, we continue to be leaders on making certain that we make Connecticut more affordable for more people everywhere in this state, and that includes our farmers and our dairy farmers, and that's something we feel strongly about. We have good, solid ideas. Let's make it happen. It's non-political, it's non-partisan. Let's get the Democrats and the governor to join us. Let's make it happen now.
Good morning, everyone. I would simply add this to this conversation. Let's remember that many, many years ago, the University of Connecticut was established as an agricultural college because at that time we had farms throughout the very small acreage of our very small little state. And today we see multiple generations of families closing their farms after hundreds of years of raising cattle, producing dairy products. We've seen the total collapse of the tobacco broadleaf industry up in the Windsor Locks area as well. It's time to do what's right for our farmers and help them so they can stay, they can continue to be job creators and continue to be an integral part of our local economy. Thank you.
So in summary, I want to thank my colleagues again for being great advocates for their districts and being great advocates for the farmers in their districts. It's simple, it's nonpartisan, we have the money, and again, the money is in the governor's hands. I wish it was in the legislature's hands so we could appropriate the funds, but since it's in the governor's hands, he has the money. Spend it on farmers, spend it on dairy farmers, make sure to make them sustainable. They deserve it, they've worked for it, and we need the food. And frankly, if they're not there, we're in a crisis. So this is a crisis we're trying to address for our farmers. We can address it right now. We have the appropriation to spend. Let's do it.